All right, folks, I got Brady with me, and you know the routine. He's chewing on the bone over there, so you're going to hear some noise. Hello. So nice to see you back. So, got some things to talk about. First of all, how's my diet going? Maybe you're wondering that. It's the first full day of my diet. So I thought I'd bring you up to date on that. And also, have you given any thought to what we talked about yesterday about never allowing a vacuum to exist? Remember, we said if you take something away, you got to replace it with something else. Have you thought of any other areas in life where you could apply that to? Well, I thought of a couple, and I thought I'd share them with you. One of them is very important. Well, both of them are very important, but they make your life a lot easier. Do you have kids? Have you ever had to say to your kid, no, you can't go over and play at that other child's house? Or, no, you can't have that toy? Or, no, you can't play in that mud puddle because I don't want you tracking mud all in my house. Any number of things. Do you see where never leaving room for a vacuum applies there? The application is this. If you say no, in other words, you've taken something away, the child is desiring to play in the mud puddle, and you say, no, can't play in the mud puddle. Don't want you bringing that mud in the house. What do you got to do? You just leave it at that? Not if you're properly applying the principle of never leave room for a vacuum. Because you've taken something away, the child has energy, has natural desires like that to play in the mud. So you got to replace it with something acceptable in its place. Play-Doh. Probably that's how Play-Doh come to exist, was exactly for reasons like that. How about, no, I don't want you playing over at that other kid's house because I don't think that other child is a very good influence. I don't think that family is a very good influence on you. Just leave it at that. Not if you want a vacuum to exist. So what do? You find an acceptable playmate alternative and provide your child with that. So that's one with our children. Never allow a vacuum to exist. If we take something away or we deny the child something, we replace it with something positive and acceptable. Here's another one. Old Brady over here. Brady not so much these days, but old ornery Orson, my 1-year-old pup who's enormous. He wants to dig up the living daylights out of my yard. He's got lots of energy. Wants to dig up lots of holes in the yard, wants to kill bunches of birds. He wants to chew on every thing I own. So where can we apply the principle, never leave room for a vacuum? Well, I tell him, no, you can't dig in my yard because I'll never find enough dirt to fill in that hole. I don't know where it goes. By the way, did you know that digging a hole is magical? It's actually magic because when you dig a hole, you take dirt out of the hole, right? When Orson digs in the yard, he digs dirt out of the yard. I take that dirt, the same dirt, put it back in the hole, and I'm still lacking that much dirt. It's magic. If I dig a hole, same thing. Pile the dirt one to the side. When I go to fill that hole back up, I'll need that much more dirt. I don't know. There's science behind it, I'm sure. Probably. Well, I could speculate, but I'm sure that science explains it. No, Orson, you can't dig in my yard. Oh, buddy, you can't do that. So what do I got to do? I got to find something for him to use that energy on. I got to find some acceptable alternative so that he can use that energy. Maybe let him dig in a corner of the yard. How about chewing on things? Well, it's why they make dog toys. Of course, puppies, you can buy them 100 toys, they still want to chew or on something they shouldn't be chewing, but that's each owner's responsibility to be a good parent in that regard. My hand's shaking because I just got done lifting weights. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Hold still, damn it. So that's how we could apply it some more, right? We talked about some examples yesterday, mostly applying them to ourselves. If we take something away from ourselves, like I'm trying to give up donuts. Well, you can't just take the donuts away from yourself. You have to fill in that vacuum with something, some more acceptable alternative. Celery sticks. Today we're applying it to our kids. We don't take something from our kids or deny our kids something without filling in that vacuum. I do it with my daughter all the time. No, honey, you can't have that toy. I don't have the money. But I'll tell you what, how about if I do this for you instead, or give you this instead? Do it with my dogs all the time. No, Orson, you cannot, absolutely not, chew on my shoe. Guess it's time to run down to the Tractor Supply store and get you a $5 bone. See? So that's the concept. You never take something away or deny something without supplying an acceptable or healthier alternative. Okay, my diet. Now, some of you are probably getting on board with me with this. How did it go today? I woke up and the first thing I did was I drank down a bottle of water. A bottle and a half of water. So I told you I was going to be going through a lot of water. That took away my hunger. And I think, starting off on any diet, most of the hunger is up here. You're not really hungry. You're just in a routine, so you got to kind of break that routine and kind of get your mind on other things. But anyway, I drank a couple bottles of water, took my hunger away, and I was up for a little bit. And at 9:30, I had a protein shake. So 2 scoops of a protein shake down. I thought I'd probably be hungry in 2 hours. But nope, I wasn't hungry until 2:30 in the afternoon. Now that was probably a little late. I probably should not have waited that long. So moving forward, my regular meals for the day are going to be 9:30 and 1:30. But I got busy with last symptom stuff, and when I looked at the clock, I wasn't feeling hungry, and I didn't realize it was so late. So 2:30 I finally had lunch, and I had chicken breast. Very simple. So for breakfast, protein shake. 2:30 lunch, I had chicken breast. And then for supper, which I just had just a little bit ago, and this is my after supper espresso. Hold still, damn it. I'd say that's a combination. That shaking is a combination of me drinking espresso after having just lifted weights. For supper, I had a shrimp salad. So I just made a salad, vinegar on top, some balsamic vinegar, and it had shrimp in it. So that was my supper. Then after supper, I did have a glass of white wine with supper. I'm allowed to do that. And then my espressos after supper. I did work out today in my gym for the first time. Now let me tell you about this gym. You're going to see either here or there video of the gym space that I use. You can see that I got a bench press. It's very modest. I got a little fan there just to keep the wind moving on me. And during the pandemic, I couldn't go to the gym, and I was going to the gym regularly at that time, and I couldn't go to the gym no more because of the pandemic. So I went searching online to see if I could find anything cheap, any exercise equipment cheap. Could not. Everybody in the entire world had the same thing in mind, and everything that was available was just so expensive that I wasn't going to spend that. So as the pandemic started winding to a close, and everybody had already bought up all the other stuff, so they were all satisfied. The pandemic's starting to come to a close. I said, well, I'm not going to find myself in this situation again. So prices started coming down. I went ahead and got myself some basement workout stuff. So 30 minutes on the weights, did some bench pressing, did some curls, did some, I call them chainsaw pulls. It's basically, you're using like dumbbells, and you're just pulling them like this. And that was it, 30 minutes. And now my whole body's shaking. Even my legs are shaking. That's how out of shape I've been. So everything I wanted to do today I accomplished. I'm feeling good right now. I'm going to try to get to bed early tonight. So I'm hoping to be asleep by midnight. And tomorrow, same thing. The diet continues. And my walk is tomorrow night. Remember, I'm going to take old Orson for a walk for 40 minutes. That'll be my activity for tomorrow evening. I feel good. There was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, okay. So after lunch today, here's another application of never leave room for a vacuum. I suspected that I might get hungry in between breakfast and lunch, or lunch and supper. So I thought ahead and I said, what will I do if that happens? That will be the weak spell, you know. That will be the dangerous period if I get hungry in between those meals. So I have to be prepared for that. So what I did was I cut up some cheese, measured out the calories. For a little snack, put it in a little tiny bag, stuck that in the fridge, and sure enough, between lunch and supper, I did get a hankering to eat something, and I tried the water trick, but my tummy kept talking to me. So that cheese satisfied me, and I've done well. So success for day one. Now, as long as I get to bed, we're set. All right, so this one's going a little bit long too, but you know, we're just getting started on this diet stuff. Your homework assignment is to think of other areas where you can apply the principle of never leaving behind a vacuum. Think about other aspects of your life that it applies to and how you can apply it. Before I go, this message is specifically for you folks who are watching this video on YouTube. I wanted to tell you that these videos, which I call orange slices, are not intended for YouTube. They typically appear exclusively on the Last Symptom's official premier social media community, which is on the Locals platform. That's LOCALS. You can find it by going to thelastsymptom.locals.com. It's that simple. You just go in your browser, and I got a killer moth attacking me right now. Another way that you can do it is you can just go to the App Store and download the locals.com app and search The Last Symptom. We'd love to have you over there. We, you know, it's kind of like a Facebook groups kind of environment where we talk. These videos appear daily and give us something to think about and talk about. It's better than Facebook. It's better than YouTube because I don't have to worry about people saying what you're saying is wrong and we're not going to let you say it. So I would encourage you to join us over there on Locals. I think you'll have a good time once you get the hang of it. So I want to extend an official invitation to you tonight or today or this morning or whenever you're watching this, that if you would like to see the continuation of this video series, please join us over at thelastsymptom.locals.com or go to the App Store, download the locals.com app, and search for The Last Symptom. It'll be nice to have you there.